Exercise 4H, question number 9. A bag contains 4 blue balls and 7 green balls. A ball is selected at random from the bag and its color is recorded. The ball is not replaced. A second ball is selected at random and its color is recorded. Draw a tree diagram to represent this information. So we have two events here. The first event is the picking up the first ball, and the second event is picking up a second ball. So we have 4 blue balls. We have 4 of blue and 7 of green, which gives us a total of 11 balls. So let's do the first probability, which is probability of picking up the first ball. So this is the first event, probability of picking the first ball. So since we have 4 blue balls and 7 green balls, the probability of picking up a blue ball is 4 by 11, and the probability of picking up a green ball will be 7 by 11. So that's our first event, and we should remember, this is very important, that the ball is not replaced. So in the second event, our total reduces to 10. So let's move on to our second event, which is second ball being probability of picking up the second ball. So again, we have two options. One is picking up a blue ball and a green ball. So if in the first case we had picked up a blue, since we are not replacing it back, the number of blue balls reduced by 1. So initially it was 4. Now the number of blue balls become 3. And since we are not putting back, the total also reduces by 1. So this is 3 by 10. Now, in the first case, if we had picked up a blue ball, then the number of green balls will remain as it is because we did not pick up a green ball. So the number of green balls remains 7. But the total still is 10 because we had picked up 1 from the total. So 7 over 10. Let's move on. If we had picked up a green ball, then what? So if we had picked up a green ball in the first place, then again in second place we could have picked up either a blue or a green ball. So since here we've picked up a green ball, so the number of green balls is reduced by 1 and the total also is reduced by 1. So then the number of green balls now will be 6 by 10. Since we picked up green, blue will remain unchanged and it will be 4 by 10. So that is the answer to part A, which is to draw a tree diagram. Now let's move on to part B. In part B, we are supposed to find the probability of picking up the second ball as a green ball. So second ball green is possible. Now here is our second probability. This lot is our second probability. So for picking up a green ball, if we picked up blue first and green second, so this is one probability. And when we come from one event and we come to the other event, we multiply it. So this is probability of picking up a blue ball and a green ball. So the second ball is green. And when we say and a green ball, and means multiplication. So we pick up a blue and a green, then the second is green. Or, so for the or we use a plus sign. Or we could have also picked up a green ball and a green ball so that the second would have been green again. So green and a green. So the balls could have been green, second balls could have been green if we would go with this option, or if we could go with this option. Or is always plus in probability. So now all we need to do is to multiply blue into green. So our branch blue and green was 4 by 11 into 7 by 10. So 4 by 11 into 7 by 10, or green into green, which is 7 by 11 into 6 by 10. And when we multiply that, we get the answer as 70 over 110. We can also simplify 70 over 110 to give us as 7 over 11. Moving on to the next part, part C. Part C says, find the probability that both balls selected are green, given that the second ball is green. So this is a conditional probability. So we need to find the probability of green and a green, given that the second ball is green. Second ball is green. Now when we have conditional probability in tree diagram, this becomes our denominator. So the probability of second ball being green is our denominator, and this probability of green and a green is our numerator. We've already found the answer to the second ball is green, and that is 7 by 11, which is the answer to the first part. So that is our denominator, 7 by 11. And our numerator is probability of selecting a green and a green ball. So green and a green is 7 upon 11 into 6 upon 10. So 7 by 11 into 6 by 10. So we get in the numerator, just make space here, we get 42 over 110, and in the denominator 7 over 11. We can use our calculator or do the answer directly by mental calculation. So 7 over 110 divided by 7 over 11, and that gives us the answer 3 by 5, which is equal to 0.6 in decimal.